Hi.
Hello, hello.
Hi.
I'm still amazed by how this Zoom stuff works.
Yeah, it
Man,
is amazing. Hi, nice shirt.
thank you.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
You
How's
know,
it going?
it's going.
Good.
It's
Yeah,
beautiful 60-degree late November day in Ohio.
It's late November here too, but
See, we're in
good.
northeastern Ohio, and
Okay.
being 60 degrees at this time of year is really weird.
Is that warm for you?
well,
For this
yesterday
time
was
of year,
30,
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
35.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
went
that's what
from
I would think.
35 to 60.
Right.
Um, and what was it, last week or the week before? It was up to 78 degrees.
Yeah, I
Wow.
planted all my tulip bulbs last week, so
Hey, that's
that was
nice.
good. So you were just recording a video game. Do you like to play video games yourself, or do you just enjoy doing the voices for?
Yeah, I don't play any video games actually. I don't have any video game consoles.
Oh,
I
really?
do have a DS,
Okay.
and
Yeah,
I used to play that a little bit more, but yeah, I don't really have time to play any, so I enjoy working on them, but
yeah.
I don't really routinely I don't play any.
So you don't play games. What do you like to do in your free time?
In my free time,
The little bit
um,
that you get, from all the work.
yeah, I used to be when times were normal, I traveled a lot to conventions, and so my free time was really just exploring and um, discovering what was happening in other communities and kind of reaching out in that sense.
For sure.
So I do a lot of audiobook narration. So I spend a lot of my free time prepping the book that I'm about to read. I don't read a lot for pleasure at the moment, but I read for, the books that I have. But otherwise, gosh, I don't know anymore what I do for pleasure. I used to play a lot of soccer.
That's
I
cool.
like to draw. I do a lot of art related things. I do a lot of like baking, I'm always working on I do a lot of gosh, even when I lived in New York, I would build a lot of things, meaning
Right.
like find old furniture and redo it. And
Reupholster and stuff.
Yeah.
well, more like I have this really great mantle that I got at a flea market. Most of my stuff is from a flea market.
Yeah.
And so I would, to like scrape the paint off and, all that kind of stuff, refurbish it, I guess,
Right.
but
Yeah.
not in a way that maybe other people would want it from me. It's just that I like it. The mantle I have in my living room, I didn't finish it. So it's kind of like half scraped. So, but I kind of like it like
Well,
that.
see, it gives it
Um,
more character, right?
it does, it does, and also it's cool to see the different layers that come out when you're scraping it,
Yeah.
depending
What
on the
have people
technique you
done
use.
before? And
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty old, that particular piece.
So I was gonna ask,
Yeah.
what type of music do you enjoy?
You know, I probably listen to a lot of different music. What I love having on in my house, is big band
Oh,
music,
love
like,
that.
old
fantastic.
1940s.
Yeah.
I used to listen to Jonathan Schwartz. He was on WNYC all the time, and now I think he has his own channel. But all of that is the old greats.
Yeah,
So
we were
we.
both in jazz bands, so
Yep.
Oh, is
we
that right?
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
we
He
got
was
plenty exposure.
saxophone. I played the drums.
Yeah, we definitely love our jazz. But
Definitely.
Yeah.
what else do you get into?
I love a good ska band.
Ah,
I really some really
yes.
good old stuff. We we listen to we listen to a lot of NPR, so we
Right.
have the radio. We pretty much have the radio on all the time.
Yeah.
And then if we put on music, we've got that kind of stuff. My daughter just turned she's almost 22, but so we definitely have a lot of different music. We have stuff that's very current.
Right.
Um,
Hmm.
and stuff that's really old. She grew up listening to a lot of really old music. So, and I do think she's incredibly musically talented. And so I think probably listening to that music her whole life has helped her just to develop an ear, which you
Yeah.
both probably have as well,
Oh,
Oh
I'd
that you
yeah.
can
subscribe to
pick up
that.
on a lot. And that's what's helped you be able to play and,
Oh
Definitely.
yeah. Yeah.
So what? I don't want to drag out the music conversation too much, but
Yeah.
I'm so in love with ska. So which
Yes.
wave is your favorite between like the first, the second, and then the more newer third, like the Real Big Fish, Streetlight Manifestos?
I don't think I know them, so I guess I'm gonna dive into the third when we get off this call.
It's
Um,
a little more punk, so
yeah,
upbeat, but
yeah,
still sticking with the roots and the offbeat rhythms.
right, right. Um, I guess that's what I like about it. But I like English Beat, the specials.
Okay.
Like
Yes,
they're right in my wheelhouse, and
I got
everything
you.
kind of radiates out from there. I do have a giant, which is not ska, but a giant painting of Bob Marley that I
Oh, nice.
won that I'm looking to sell. It's about
Yeah.
5 it's like 5 by 5 maybe, or 6 by 6. It's
Oh
really
wow,
big.
that's huge.
I know. We won it, and I need to offload that because I live in a small apartment, and I've always lived in small apartments, and it's really I do like Bob Marley a lot, but this giant
Yeah.
head of him in my living room is just it's a little too
A
much.
little much.
Yeah, it is.
See, the only thing that I've won picture wise, I actually, funnily enough, won an autographed picture of you at
No
a
way.
convention. Yeah, at a convention
Oh.
years ago, and it was so funny. I promised my wife I would tell the story. Is we you know. We won it, and I was like, "Oh my god, I won!" And I got up and
Yeah.
I went and got it, and I handed it to her, and she's looking at it, and she immediately drops it in a room of over 50 people in this panel, and the glass shatters.
Oh, no.
And you could tell she felt so
Yeah.
bad. And to lighten the mood, I turned and I looked at her and I was like, "This is why we can't have nice things." And
Oh.
the whole room started laughing, and she started, it was just a really funny thing. But yeah, it's hanging up in our
Oh,
stairwell.
wow.
So
And here we meet.
yes.
Yeah.
Uh,
How nice.
so
So I've got a question about Pokemon since
Okay.
that's probably
you did
what
a little bit of Pokemon for a while,
you're in
right?
it, right?
Yes, I did.
So is Ash Ketchum, is he really just in a coma? Is that why he's still 10 years old to this day?
I wish that were true because I would love for him to wake up, aka Bob Newhart, and be like, "Oh, well, I just had the weirdest dream," and then of all these adventures, or it would go back to that first day, when he was being woken up by his mom in the first episode, and he
Yeah,
was late, and um, what a wild idea if you had this whole life and suddenly you woke up and were like, "Oh my gosh, I'm just at day 1," and
right.
because really, if you think about it, as I guess I have a little bit, um, would you want to once you've gone through it all in the dream, do you really wanna go back and do it all in real life? Or, like, I don't know, we all have this one life, so you kinda wanna just live it and give it your all.
Yeah,
So I would feel bad for him if he had been in a coma, in the sense that you see all that possibility and then you wake up at square one.
right.
So
Yeah.
and then maybe the pressure would be too great to even get out of bed. Like, what if I can't do it? What if I can't accomplish all those things that I did in my mind? But I guess that's, turn that on this other side. That's the thing that does keep us all going, is to
Right.
say, yeah, I've set out to be my best, and I'm gonna find a way to accomplish it. But yeah, I know there's so many theories about Ash, and I think he represents that 10-year-old inside all of us that doesn't grow up, that just reminds us that everything is possible. So
Yeah,
I
I
think him
think
staying 10 is just it's us. It's who we are,
I
you
think
know?
we were about 10 when it came out. So
Yeah.
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 Yep.
it
Yeah.
really was something that like you think Pokemon Go comes out a few years ago and they just
Mhm.
keep reinventing this franchise
Right.
and just making hand over fist, just pumping out
Yeah.
some like very
Yeah.
much the same video games and stuff like that. Or
And it's
the
But you know what?
incredible.
I still buy it every year. So
You see, there you go. So if it's up to all of us to come up with something like that, the gift that keeps on
right.
giving.
that's right.
Yeah, it is amazing what they've been able to do. I mean, and they've brought so many people together in doing that. So
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
absolutely.
yeah.
You know, I know this year was a bit of a hiccup in the norm with doing all the conventions, because I know you do a lot of conventions when they're in circuit. Do you have a favorite? Do you have one that you're really excited to go back to when things kind of
Oh
open
my
back up?
gosh. No, all of them. I
Yeah.
love traveling, but I love the fact that I've been able to go to so many. I just try to say yes because I never knew when they would end. So, if I could manage it in my schedule, I would say yes. But I yeah, there's so many of them that I love, because I love traveling far, like to New Zealand, Australia,
Well, New Zealand would
Dubai,
be perfect.
Kuwait.
You just
They're really good. They won't let
yeah.
Americans in right now, wisely, but there's so many, even smaller conventions within the US that I just I don't know, I just love them all because I get to really talk with people when I'm there. So
Yeah.
I have the luxury of being able to spend time with each person as they come up. So it doesn't have to be, like some people are signing and not even looking up, but I
Right.
Mhm.
get to hear people's stories and meet their children. And I had one convention with Armageddon in New Zealand where I went in 2002 and I met a ton of kids. And I was back in 2016, I think, and I met two boys who came. I had met them in 2002, and
Wow.
they
Oh,
were
that would be
there
really
talking
fun.
about they had jobs, they were married, one had a child, with them, and like things like that where I've made friends with people that I have seen year after year at different shows,
Yeah.
even a big show like New York Comic Con or very small shows, even in Columbus, like there's, I just love the Comic Con community.
Right.
A big show, small show, anime show, all of those things. It's just incredibly special and personal. So I don't have I can't wait to go back to X. I just can't wait to go back.
That's
I
completely
understand.
fair. Now, do you
Yeah.
have like a specific moment that stands out more than any other
I
an
mean, I
experience at a
know.
convention?
Well, I would say on a personal level, being recognized outside of a convention, because in my normal life, I'm really invisible. I'm a
Oh,
very
okay.
normal person.
Yeah.
I'm a very normal person anyway. But the idea that seeing me could mean something to someone is incredibly surprising to me.
Without a
So
doubt.
that's always amazing. And my daughter would say, I wish that you did more on camera, so maybe we could get a table at a restaurant. um, because when I'm out with the Power Rangers, they always, they
Oh yeah.
if the place is crowded, they make room for them. So that doesn't happen for me. But that kind of thing is pretty wild. Um, but I think it's more the I don't have anything crazy that's happened. It's just incredibly endearing things, to know people's stories of how they met their partner, or how they used to watch the show with their grandmother after school, and she's since passed away, but they still have that. Or I've had people. There's one. Uh, Girl that I've met through conventions, and she is a swimmer with Special Olympics, and I've been able to. I know her mom now, and I went to her Zoom birthday party, and
Wow.
there's other people that I know through the years who, because in the beginning in 1998, we certainly weren't online a lot. We weren't.
Right.
I wasn't doing email. I don't think I had my own computer till after 2000. So um, the 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 fact that I know so much about certain people, and from
Yeah.
seeing them and knowing how they've progressed, I mean, that's to me, oh God, it's such a gift and so incredible. So I don't have weirdo things, but just incredibly sweet things that have happened.
That's very cool though. I mean,
Yeah.
Definitely.
honestly.
It's amazing.
There
And my daughter has always traveled with me since 2004. So
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
she's like 4
She's
then.
got to see the world over then.
Yeah, because I couldn't go anywhere if she didn't go with me. And so when I traveled, she would come and we worked it out and worked out her homework and taking off time from school or, all of
Yeah.
those things. And it's made it all such an incredible experience where my family is part of other people's families.
So when you're at conventions, are there any to maybe help prevent some people from asking you in the future? Are there any questions that have really just kind of like, oh man, I gotta answer this one again. I gotta listen to this.
I know what you mean, but the answer is no,
No,
because the
that's
thing
good.
is, every time I hear a question, even if
Yeah,
it were the exact same one, is being asked by a different person. So,
right.
and that person's need to know the answer is different from the last person who asked perhaps the same question. So, so I have to be able to really listen and respond in a way that the person needs the response.
That's
So,
such a great way to
Yeah,
look at
I like
life.
yeah,
that.
I think so because some people just need a jokey answer back,
Yeah.
and some people are looking for a deeper answer, or they are asking because of something else. So,
Yeah.
it is a lesson in listening, I would
That's
say.
that's definitely a trait that I would say every voice actor we've talked to seems to have that
Yes,
Mm.
compassion.
absolutely.
Well, that's what
Absolutely.
acting is. Acting is listening and reacting
Right.
anyway, but that's what being a human being is also. So it's just
Very good.
taking it to an extreme and perhaps being paid for it.
Are there any more sort of ongoing series that you'd love to jump into moving forward?
Like,
Oh, anything. I audition for so many things that I don't get cast in. So
Right.
I really commit to it when I get the audition, and I think through a lot of things. So yeah, there's many things I wish I were working on. Um,
I
but
understand that.
but there's always, something happening. Um, I'm working on a bunch of different things right now. Some projects I just got cast in, and I don't know what some things are called, and I don't know when they're coming out. So
That's okay.
some
We'll
things I
know.
don't, even some like video games, I start working on it, but I don't actually know what it's called.
Well,
So
I think
either
the
that or
cool
you can't
thing,
pronounce it right.
yeah.
well, yeah, that's true too. But they use like a fake name to book you, and then I
Right.
don't know what the show is anyway. So I have had some things come out, and someone goes, "Oh, you're in this," and I'm like, "Am I?" I have to hear it to see if that's really me because I don't even know what that title is.
Well, that's
Yeah.
definitely the cool thing about nerds is they don't just follow a show, they will follow the actors themselves and probably
Mhm.
know more about it than you or
That's
I
very
will.
true. Yeah, which I really appreciate, actually.
Do
I
you,
love to work, and
Yeah,
so I just kind of dive in, and I can't keep it all in my head, nor can I keep all the jobs that I didn't get cast in because it's just too much, or I
right.
would really be depressed all the time. So, some things, if I don't write it down, I forget that I was in it until I hear it, or so I do definitely depend on other people to keep track of that.
Right.
now do you like the sound of your own voice when you hear it in different shows? Do you enjoy uh I don't know necessarily
I know
enjoy,
exactly
but
what you mean
yeah.
because it's very hard to listen to your own voice,
Yes.
for sure.
Yes, it's
Um,
excruciating
excruciating, yeah.
for
It's
me.
but I have a bachelor's in acting and a master's in acting. So my training is to be able to do something and step back from it and analyze it to
Yeah.
in terms of what was I trying to achieve, how do I feel like I got there, which is not proper grammar, but so
Okay.
um I don't mind. I'm also speaking as a character. So I don't know that I, for instance, want to listen to myself on an answering machine, leaving a message and then go like, why did I sound like that? But when I'm playing a character, I'm not really me. So I find it easier to listen to the characters I do. And like if I watch Pokemon, for instance, I don't really think about that being me. I'm able to kind of let it go and um, just watch Ash.
So I'm a big fan of theater. Do you have any particular plays or any shows that you absolutely loved to do when you were doing theater?
Oh gosh, I did Midsummer Night's Dream on tour, and I also did it for summer stock. And that's one of my favorite. I played Hermia. It's one of my favorite characters ever. But I do think being on stage and having that rehearsal process and knowing how to dissect a script, that helps me work on voice related scripts because I already just kind of know how to do that. So when I look at something, I can determine right away what my objective is, what I need from the other person, what they're trying to get from me. And I do a lot of English as a second language, and even for that, we're just
Yeah.
like creating out of, "Hi, hey, is it raining? Yes, it is. Oh, better get an umbrella." Even from that, we create a whole backstory right away of like,
Yeah.
she's needy, he's, whatever. So, you can, that I think my theater training certainly has helped me to be better at what I do and also be able to attack it more quickly. But yeah, my first play was Goldilocks and the Three Bears, and that was probably one of my favorite roles to play.
Oh,
I was
fun.
5, yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, I've had some great experiences, and it's all about cast and the director, so that you are really working together. Voice work is you imagine that, and you try to bring that same energy to it, even though you're by yourself.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Now, as a slight follow up, do you have a favorite play or musical that you like to watch?
I haven't seen Hamilton yet, so I will have to say,
Oh,
I can't talk about that, but I'm sure I'll love that. Um,
really good.
I saw, um, Thoroughly Modern Millie was one of the best musicals I've ever seen. My daughter was 4 also when we went to go to it, and it was just life-changing, because Sutton Foster is incredible. We saw, everybody's talking about Jamie in England, and that I think is gonna be made into a movie. That was
Okay.
such an incredible musical. I do try to see theater whenever I can, and certainly whenever I'm in London, I go to a show. When I'm home in New York, I go to a show or 3, and, that was that was so joyful that I can't recommend it enough to everyone to see it when it comes out. We also saw the best 12th night at the Globe in London. That one is available on their website. It was incredible. They added music to it. I've seen that show easily 6 times. And it was the best production I've ever seen for different
Oh, wow.
reasons. I've seen the Mark Rylance production of it too, and that was good for a totally other way because they used everything as if it were in Shakespeare's time, the material, the lighting, all of that stuff, and they stayed very strictly to the script, where some people cut
Yeah.
parts or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It was incredible, and I've never understood that play better than that production that Mark Rylance was in. That I think you can also get, but this one, I think it came out in 2018,
Yeah.
17,
Okay.
18. But I saw that they have it on their website at the Globe because you can get a lot of things now that we're all stuck at home.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
production of 12th Night is incredible.
Getting back a little bit, you said you don't read a lot for pleasure now. When you do get a chance to read, what kind of stuff do you enjoy?
I can't. I'm caught off guard on this. I found this amazing writer in. She's British, and I just can't remember her name at this moment. I'm searching, as you can see, my eyes are pointing up as I'm like searching my memory banks. Um, but I like stories that really draw you in. This book that I read of hers had different um, sections to it, different lives, and they then came together. But that it was a man who found objects and made up stories about them, and then later we found out more about that. It was just really, I like to get lost in a book. So even Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy or things that take me to a different world. The Moomins, do you guys know those? They're for little kids.
Yeah.
Tove Jansson wrote them in the 50s, and
Yeah.
they still remain my favorite books
They've
ever.
done animations for it in the
Yeah.
past that
The
I've seen.
books-
I haven't read the books, but I've seen the animation.
That's what you have to get those eventually. Like you can get them from the
Yeah.
library. But that's how I found mine in the library. And most of the books that I've loved, I've just been in the library or in a bookstore and just kind of rolling along. And then I find something that looks good. And so it's mostly that things that transport me out of the ordinary. So I don't read a
Right.
lot of autobiographies. All the time. I mean, I have some, but that's not my choice for a relaxing read. I read the Samantha Spinner series. I narrate that, and those books are so fun because, like the uncle disappears and she and her brother have to go on these adventures, and they go through this tunnel, pneumonic tube that can take them from Seattle to Paris in half an hour. And
Nice.
things like that. And those books, Russell Gins writes those, and it's just like he writes the way my mind works, where you think
Right.
about, if I could just put a pulley here, I could bring my groceries up without having to go outside. I could, like what if I think constantly about putting a, what are those things that like zip line through? I live in a small apartment, so bear with, but if I could zip line like from my door into the kitchen, wouldn't that be cool? Anyway, I rent, so I can't do it.
Oh, shucks. Well, I mean, you could just repair it before you move, right?
Yes, maybe.
Until you get in a little too
trouble.
hot and go through the wall.
And dent the wall.
Just Kool-Aid Man through the neighbor's
I know,
wall.
exactly. But like stuff like that, I like books that let me live in that more than just like I'm thinking about the zip line and then I have to go pay my bills. Like life
Right.
just drags you down.
So I do have to ask, because I've checked a few times, from links that you have in your bios on your social media and everything. Is your website ever actually going to launch?
Well, I think so. And I was on a trajectory, and then COVID complications have set in. So
Right.
I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
And
I believe in you.
Thank you. I'm not doing it. I'm having someone else do it. I don't have the patience for that.
Yeah, I feel it.
I just don't. But I don't have the expertise in that either. But yes, it will. And it needs to, because no one can find me. You guys found me.
Yeah.
But
Well, we'd like to just open the floor to you if you have anything, if you're in the promo stages for anything, or just want people to check out your Instagram or Facebook or anything like that.
I'm definitely working on stuff. I normally post about it. So I would say, since my website's not up, I would say you can
Man, I
check
just
me
called
out
her out on that.
No, but I call myself every day. I'm just talking to my daughter, like, we've got to get that website finished. Anyway, I'm on Instagram and Twitter at the Veronica T, and Facebook, the Veronica Taylor. So I mostly post stuff there.
Right.
I think that's the best. I really am more interested in people like that I come across. I don't check Twitter all the time. I don't check Instagram all the time. I'm just kind of there. So sometimes I get messages and I don't see them for 2 weeks, or they disappear because they go down too far.
Mhm.
You know what I mean
Yeah.
by doing that. But I try to stay connected. I will also admit that I don't know, this time of COVID, it's very stressful. And so
Yes.
I'd go to social media for solace, but I also avoid it because it's too much to take on. And I find that the stress of so many people being sick and dying and just everything like that is really overwhelming to me. So I have to kind of check out a little.
Yeah.
And so
Definitely.
I'm trying to find a balance. And so I work away on things. I'll let you know when it's coming out. And but as I was saying, I'm more interested in the people that I'm able to reach out to, who reach out to me.
If we could
Mhm.
get a bump, have you introduce the episode that we're going to air the interview in.
Sure.
Have you just introduce yourself and your name,
Sure.
characters that you love, to do and voice, and then you are listening to Two Dads and a Podcast.
Okay.
You can do it in voice if you like.
Two dads and a podcast. I choose you.
Okay, I'll give you that. All right, I'll give you a couple.
Okay.
Hey, I'm Veronica Taylor, and I guess you probably best know me as Ash on Pokémon, April, Ninja Turtles, and oh gosh, a bunch of other things. And you're listening to Two Dads and a Podcast. Hey, this is Ash Ketchum, and you're listening to Two Dads and a Podcast. Whoa. Hey, this is Ash Ketchum, and you're listening to Two Dads and a Podcast. That's two more dads than I have.
That's kind of dark.
Sad. I know. You'll have to put that Sad.
No, I love it. I love it.
You broke Russ.
Maybe that's not good, but it's true. Hey.
Hey, single moms holding the fort, you know?
That's right.
Everyone.
That's right.
Got a
gosh.
shout out.
Oh man.
Everyone always asks about Ash's dad anyway, so.
Oh, did I? See, I never thought to ask. I never
Don't bother.
She,
No, I don't know. Who knows? Who knows
Right.
anything about him?
you know what? Ash's
He's also in a
mom's-
coma.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
You
His
know-
mother put him there. No, I don't. Look, I don't know
I
anything.
think there was one episode she said that he was away on a business trip or something, and that's the only thing we ever
I
got.
don't even
geez.
remember that. I don't
but
remember.
He went
saying
out to
that.
buy milk.
Yes, that's what
Went to the gas
happened.
station to grab a pack of cigarettes.
Ugh.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you,
But-
do you ever get bugged by people? Because I know my mom always called it Pokemon, and I think she did it on purpose just to
People
bother
do that
everybody.
a lot. Yeah.
Does that bother
Pokemans.
you, or do you just?
No, we were like when we first started, we all said Pokemon, and
Yeah.
then they came out and they were like, no, it actually has to be Pokemon. So Poke. So we were just like beaten with the Pokemon.
Right.
But so when people say, hey, you're the Pokemon, I go, yeah. You guys, this has been absolutely fantastic.
Epic, for sure.
Absolutely.
You've been more than generous with your time. We
Thanks.
do appreciate
Well, I
that.
do have to get off in a minute because my
Yeah.
daughter's teaching a Zoom class.
Oh.
So we have to
Very cool.
we have to switch
Trade.
Flop.
Zoom. Yeah.
There you go.
So yeah, this has been fantastic. I cannot wait to see you in person.
Yeah.
That will be a
Yeah.
great joy for me.
Hopefully,
so
sometime next year they start opening things up. Hopefully, we get
Absolutely.
enough.
If
For now, we just hunker down,
Yeah,
stop the spread, flatten
That's
the
right.
curve.
Stay safe,
whatever you wanna
everybody.
say.
that's
Mhm.
right.
Wear
Zoom,
a mask.
Zoom call Thanksgivings.
Oh my gosh, I know. I know.
So, but if when things open up and you're going to be in Ohio, send us a message or we'll reach
will.
out if we see that you're going to be there, and maybe we can get something going in
That
person.
would be absolutely fantastic. And let me know when this is up, and then I'll promote to my best ability.
Oh, very
we
cool.
we appreciate that. Any promotion at this point. I think we only have 11 YouTube subscribers right now.
I think you should change your name to Great Dads, because you are.
Oh,
Stop
shucks.
it.
No, to fabulous dads. I don't know, whatever you want.
I keep
But
trying
you're
to convince him to change the name to Aerosmith Sweet Emotion. That way, when somebody types that into YouTube, it just pops up.
Oh,
But
good
I keep telling them that I
I'm
think there's
thinking
some
on another
copyright
level.
issue there, but
Yeah.
who knows?
Maybe. I'm gonna take
All
a
right.
I'm gonna
Well-
take a picture from you guys, then I have you.
Oh,
right.
excellent.
Awesome. Okay, you guys. Best of luck.
Yeah.
Stay healthy. Best to your families. Oh, this has been a real pleasure. Thank you.
Bye, Veronica.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, you too. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, this is Tired Dad, and you've been listening to the Two Dads in a Podcast interview series. For more content, like and subscribe to this channel. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitch, and everywhere podcasts are available. To help us bring you more of these amazing interviews, you can support us on our Patreon. Just follow the links below, and thanks for watching.